everyone. Welcome to Bridging the Relationship Gap. It Takes Two. I'm Tamara Lee Terry, your one and only tea lady, and thank you for joining me today. I just want to let you guys know how much I appreciate all of you guys and all of your love and support and outpouring that you keep giving in the inbox. Just wanting to let you know that I am really excited about what God is doing in relationships, and I'm so excited to see that we are all in this thing together and we are all making progress one day at a time, 1 week at a time, into the years as the years go by. So again, don't give up. It's going to happen for you, and you just have to hang in there. You just have to stick with it, and just know that what you put in is what you're going to get out of it, and that is a fact. So what the goal is in this session is to basically just to encourage you with your relationship. You want to be in it to win it, and you want to make sure that you are definitely getting what you desire to get out of it. Especially those of you like myself, who it isn't your first time around the block, and you want to make sure that this time you're not making the same mistakes that you made before, and you're not allowing certain things that you allowed before. But this time, you definitely want to get to the point where you're seeing the results that you want to get. So you're in it to win it. You definitely want to get out of it what you're putting into it. And too many times, we as women, we settle, and we, are willing to give up a lot of things that we want. But I say, now is not the time to do that. Get what you want to get out of this thing. Your relationship is only going to be as successful as the both of you make it to be. I mean, like we say, it takes two. It definitely takes two. It's going to take more than just one person being the one that puts everything into this. You're going to have somebody that's going to work with you to build. What would it be like if you saw a builder out there and one person was laying all of the masonry, one person was doing all the framing, one person was doing all the flooring? That doesn't make so well. It's a relationship type of deal. When you're building, you have to have somebody who is building with you, not somebody who's working against you, but somebody who's building with you. And that's the only way that you're both going to get the end desires result that you want. And that is to build a strong, sturdy foundation for your relationship. Now, there are a lot of things that you can notice that are consistent in relationships going south, so to say. And mainly what happens is people forget the reasons why they fell in love and why they're doing the relationship in the first place. They get settled in the mundane, and they get settled with being complacent. And when they don't create the spark or the excitement in a relationship, then all of a sudden that they think, well, I must not love this person anymore. Or they say, oh, we've grown apart. When actually all you need to do is put forth the effort to jumpstart and keep those things, relationship that were there initially when you first started. As a woman, we say it to guys all the time that you set the expectation to us thinking what kind of experience we're going to get out of this relationship. So when there's change, that's the element that sometimes leaves a person thinking, oh, well, he must not love me anymore because he used to bring me flowers, or we used to do this, or we used to do that, and we just don't do it anymore. We don't talk as much as we used to talk. We used to talk all the time, and now, there's always other things going on in the day, and we don't talk as much, or we just don't, our communication is not what it used to be. Sometimes those are the things that make people believe that the relationship is suffering some type of breakdown, and they don't think that, the person is still who they used to be to them. They think that they've fallen out of love with that person. And that may not be the case. It just may need to be jump-started and rejuvenated. I mean, everything is about maintenance. From the beginning, when things are all nice and brand new and exciting, people can be very creative. And just to be honest with you, people are trying to put their best foot forward and make an impression with this person. So they may do things that they don't normally do. They may say things that they don't normally say. And then the problem becomes is once they think that they've got the person, then they kind of slack off a little bit. Well, that's the thing that you can't do. You can't slack off. You have to maintain what you've been doing. And like we said earlier, women expect that when you start the relationship by doing certain things, we expect for those things to continue and to only get better and enhance. And a lot of times when they're not, they're mistaken as he doesn't have an interest in me anymore. He must be interested in somebody else, or that we're just not in love anymore. Maybe we should just go our separate ways. But that's not the case. My pastor, Dr. Rob Thompson in Chicago, has said it for many, many years, that the biggest cure for ingratitude is loss, okay? The biggest cure for ingratitude is loss. And sometimes people need to feel appreciated, and it's them not feeling appreciated or that you're thankful or grateful for them that causes them to think that, oh, he doesn't love me anymore, oh, she doesn't love me anymore. We must not, have a relationship. Maybe it's just time for us to get a divorce or go our separate ways and see other people or just be alone. All these kind of scenarios feed into the factor that it's not a matter of not loving each other. It's just that the flames have kind of grown a little bit dim and they need to flicker again, and they need to be refreshed. Those coals need to be stirred up again. So what do you do, fellas? What do you do, ladies, to keep hope alive, so to say, to keep those flames burning? What do you do? Well, this is going to help a lot of people because it's a lot simpler than you may think that it actually is. All you need to do is maintain what you started doing at first, and also what you need to do is you cater to that person's need for feeling wanted, feeling needed, and feeling appreciated. And sometimes it doesn't take a lot. It's not, the big monetary gifts that you have to give. Most of the time, it's just something simple like time. Giving that person your time. Lending an ear to hear about how their day went. With a genuine interest, or doing things to make that person know and feel like they are special to you. It could be something like making sure that their coffee is next to the bed when you know that they're coming out from the shower. Or it could be something as simple as making sure that you made a special lunch for them so that they don't have to go out and buy lunch, or they don't have to prepare their own lunch. The simple little things. It's just acknowledging that person is significant to you enough for you to make them feel special, to make them feel wanted, to make them feel appreciated. And appreciation will go a lot further, many times, most of the time. And giving a person your time will go a lot further than these big monetary gifts. People measure the size of the gift and how much you spent on it sometimes and think that qualifies as showing that they're appreciated. I think the leading cause of people stepping out of relationships and getting into other kinds of affairs is because they don't feel like the other person appreciates them. They feel like they're being taken for granted. And I think that once both people can get on the same page and realize that and start to do little things to keep the spark in the relationship, you're going to see a change. You're going to see it building again. You're going to see it going in the direction that is going to continue to add those years onto the relationship and build sweet memories that you can look back on and say, that was a special time. Do you remember when this happened? Or do you remember when that happened? So those are all things to take into consideration when you're trying to maintain and build your relationship. You always want to make that person feel like they are important to you and they are appreciated. One other thing that I believe will really help you is when you take inventory of the things that really, really matter to you and let go of some of those things that are not deal breakers for you. Sometimes we fuss over things that don't really matter. We have to focus on things that are most important to us, because the truth of the matter is tomorrow's not promised to any of us, okay? So we need to make sure that we let the people who are special in our lives know today just how special they are to us. Stop procrastinating. Stop waiting to take that trip. Stop waiting to get engaged or get married. Stop waiting to plan buying that house, or, planning to start that business together. Whatever it is that that you've been waiting for. Stop procrastinating. Stop procrastinating, because tomorrow's not promised to any of us. So you want to live life and make the most of today while it is called today, right? And tomorrow will come, and you deal with tomorrow when it gets there, and it'll be today. But you always just want to make sure that those things, there's no need to nitpick on stupid things, because you know what? The truth of the matter is, just think about it like this. There were people in relationships where they went to bed last night and somebody didn't wake up this morning. And there could have been things that they were beefing over. There could have been things that they left unsaid and undone that they really wish that they had a chance to take care of and resolve or do. And you just want a life with no regrets. So in doing so, the things that are not deal breakers, that are petty, just get over it. Now, with that being said, there always needs to be some balance, because somebody will misconstrue what I said and think that you're supposed to just become a doormat. You just let some things fly all the time. You never address certain issues because you want to avoid conflict. And yes, you want to avoid conflict at all costs, but even the Word of God tells us that, if you're offended, you need to bring it to the person to resolve it. You don't let things fester, because when they fester, they build and they build, and then they're building something else. You're not bridging a relationship gap. You're not building and making a firm foundation with your relationship. You've allowed other things to build. You've allowed bitterness and anger and all negative things that bring negative things into your life and into your relationship to build and fester, and then that's going to manifest, and that's not what you want. So you want to nip it in the bud, so to say, and you want to talk about those things and get them resolved. The bottom line is, everybody wants to be happy, and everybody wants to be with somebody who brings them happiness when they're in their presence. They want to be with somebody who they have good times with and they enjoy. And relationships are hard sometimes, because people have different personalities and they don't always mesh. So you have to find that common ground and work on that. That's why it's called building, meaning that it's not always there. Sometimes the right constituents are there, the good qualities that you want to be able to build upon, but it's connecting those dots and putting those pieces together and laying that firm foundation to make that all happen and come to pass. And then that's how it takes root, and that's how those roots get shoots, and that's how those shoots grow up and become a mature and healthy, stable relationship. So the bottom line is, relationships take work, and relationships take a lot of effort. And I hadn't connected with you guys for a little bit, so I just wanted to jump on really, really quick and just bring you an encouraging word about your relationship and bridging the relationship gap, because it does truly take two to do it, and a lopsided relationship's not going to be able to make it. Even the Word of God tells us that a house divided against itself will never stand. You've got to be in unison working together. So, with that being said, I hadn't been on here a while. I wanted to reconnect with you guys. Wanted to just jump on and let you know that we are still building the relationship gap, because it takes two. Just got a lot of other things that have been going on, so I haven't been able to get my studio time to be able to come to you, but this was as good as any to just jump on and just do this and continue to bridge the relationship. You are all doing well, and I just want to encourage you to continue to text, continue to send us messages, and continue to like and subscribe to our various YouTube channel and our page. Share our broadcast with your family and your friends. Set your notification button so that you know when we are on, either doing a live or a watch party. We plan to be coming to you a little bit more frequently, and to continue bridging the relationship gap, because it takes two. Once again, I'm Tamara Lee Terry, your one and only tea lady. Have a blessed day, and until next time, keep bridging the relationship gap, because it takes two.